Salam alaikum, alaikum salam, con buenos dias to everybody. Good day, good day, good day. I had to come in here real quick. I just had to. I had to for the simple reason is that I was hesitant to put out that video this morning because I was afraid that some brothers and sisters would have some type of confusion or doubts, and this is exactly what I didn't want to happen. That's why I explained that follow your house. I always say follow your leaders, follow your elders. Whatever they teach you, follow what they're teaching you. I got a question a few minutes ago, if I'm not mistaken. That's the reason why I wanted to put this and elaborate on the readings. Not as far as going into it, but the names given. Okay. Remember, as mayumberos, as enganguleros, as practitioners of Chamalongos Yaya, as practitioners of Palo Palo Mayombe, from whatever rama you from, we know that we practice and we use different systems, all right? Like I have said in previous videos. But the main predominantly ones will be the cowrie shells and will be the coconut shells, okay? Now, the question was asked if there's anything wrong by them using the Ocha or Santeria format of names. And I answered the question. I said no. Okay? But we have to understand one thing. In Ocha, the coconut is called Obi, if I'm not mistaken, right? And in Ocha, they do not use the coconut shells or shell. In Ocha, they use the inside of the coconut. And they'll cut out 4 pieces in there. And I'm not going to go through all the procedures. I know how it's done, as I've been through quite a few of seeing how they use and what they do. And they will cast the white meat of it, because the back part of the meat, you'll still see a brown coating on it, almost like if it was the brown of the shell. And when they cast, they say certain prayers. You know, sometimes you hear them say Obitutu, Onatutu, Achetutu, you know, these type of prayers, right? And everything they're saying, Obi is the coconut, you know what I mean? Omitutu, agua. So, you know, and they'll say certain prayers and they'll cast with the question they're asking, and they will get a reading. And they'll do a reading that way. And we know that they'll use Alafia, Itagua, Eyeife, Okana, Oyekun. This is their system of saying the fall, the names of each falling, of each way that the coconut rind, the inside of the coconut, the white part, falls. But due to the Yoruba people, the Lukumi, the Yorubas, coming in to the lands of Cuba also in slavery. Remember, from my understanding, the Congos were the first. Some people say it's backwards. But what I was taught, the Congos were the ones who came to this part of the world as slaves first. Then the Yoruba people. And because of the mixture of these people, us, the ones that or some of our elders have adopted the way of casting using the names of Ocha, of the Lukumi, the Orisha style of naming things, naming the fallings, the caídas, and that divination system. As long as you understand what it's saying, you have that communication with your Nkisi, with your Lucero, and that's the word that you're using, to me is fine. Because at one time, at one point in my life, this is how I started. Using the Ocha names for the Obi, for the white part, and the little brown in the back, to the shell also. So it's fine if you're learning it that way. Follow your lineage, follow your elders. There's no problem with it, as long as you understand, and that Mfumba there understands what is it exactly that you're saying when you call out that letter, that name. I don't see nothing wrong with it, because we understand that because of the mixture of the Yorubas with the Congos and the Indians and the Chinese and the Europeans and all that, things evolve, things change. And some places and some elders back then took those names and implemented it as the falling of the hard shells of the Chamalongos, Iyamputos. There's no problem with it, But this is the reason why I was hesitant to make that video on that, because I didn't want nobody to get confused. That's why if you listen clearly, I said, follow what your elders are teaching you. I'm not here to change the style or the names that you have been given for certain things, because I'm not your elder. I'm not your tata. You guys are not under me. You guys are under your own house, your own Munan Sokongo. So follow what they follow, do what they do. Now, for me, as I got a little bit more, I'm not gonna say more knowledgeable, but as I researched a little bit more, I wanted to take away the Ocha words of casting Obi, which would be the coconut rind inside, and I wanted to go a little more Congo. I wanted to go a little bit more Bantu. I wanted to use words that was a little bit more to what I am practicing, just to make it a little bit more pure. Not that it is more pure than the way you are being taught, but in the sense of the words that I'm using, like Budelele and Sansa, I wanted to use those words, because for me, it made me feel better that I'm casting using a Congo word, a different word that doesn't have anything to do with Ocha or Santeria, however you may call it. This is the reason why I always said in the video, follow what you're being taught. I'm not here to change the way you guys are being taught. This is what this is. This is not about this. I actually was just really talking about the Chamalongos, how you should buy them. And I just threw in a little bit of the simple question and answer divination system. That's all. Many people don't even use the upper side of it, the concave side of it, as the part that's saying yes. Some people use it backwards, meaning backwards. So you have to follow your lineage. You have to follow your elders. In the future, if you get your own house, and if you keep following it that way, it's fine. If you ever want to use the other words, it's fine. But for me, I wanted to get away from the Ocha words of calling the coconut shell, not the coconut rind, the shell. I wanted to use a more traditional word, words for them. What do they mean? You know, what are their names in Malongo? I wanted to get away from the names of Ocha. I didn't want to mix things together. So there's no problem. You guys do what you guys are being taught. Be safe and salam alaikum, alaikum salam.